What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, Bitcoin is setting at 67,000. And today, I want to discuss some crypto miners and altcoins that are entering good buy levels. And I also want to discuss what is going on in the stock market. Apple, Nvidia, and gold. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. All right, first thing I wanted to mention is Apple has been falling down to around the $170 area. And as you can see here, we just hit this line, which is our previous support. And we're beginning to get a little bounce here on Apple. This is a big move for Apple. And I want to discuss what that could mean for the stock market, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But first of all, I just want to take a measurement here to show you how far Apple has come down off its previous high of about 15%. So that is a big move for a big company. And so what could that mean for the stock market? Well, if we take a look at the Qs, we're still in this upsending channel. And if some of these big tech companies start to slow down and roll over, we could see the Qs fall out of this ascending channel, which means we could fall down to this previous all-time high here back from 2021 at around that 410. So the stock market has been really heated here over the past 4 or 5 months, and some of these things have ran so far, so fast. And so it makes you have to wonder and question which way is the market going to go. Well, for now, it's up, uh, and I think it will remain up, going up for the rest of the year, but I suspect that we may be getting ready to cool down a little bit and possibly have a pullback on the macro conditions and possibly see some sentiment shifts in the markets. But for now, everything is up. Well, the markets are up and to the right, and so is Nvidia. Just breaking past the $900 level, and this thing has just continued to gap up and just keep rising. And if you look back at some of these levels where we were at even earlier this year, it's just an amazing run. But one thing I did want to mention here is here in TradingView, you have these moon phases, and it is not working at the moment for some reason. But it's interesting. Let me see if I can get this to work here real quick. Hold on one second. Hmm. Okay. So that indicator is not wanting to work right now. But what I wanted to point out with the moon phases is we are getting ready to enter into a new moon, which is typically a bearish signal on markets. And when I pulled up this indicator earlier this morning and looked at this, almost every time we went into a new moon, we've seen pullbacks and sell-offs or sideways action in the market. And then whenever we saw a full moon indicator, we got a rally up. And we've been in the full moon phase for the past couple of weeks now. Excuse me. And So it makes you wonder, are we going to sell off here later in March, which we know is typically what happens this time of year in the stock market. Generally, we see a cool pullback sometime in Q1, but what is not pulling back is gold. Gold is breaking to an all-time high of $2,155 per ounce. And so, what does that mean for the gold market going forward? Excuse me, guys. Got a tickle in my throat. And what I wanted to mention here is Newmont Mining. I mentioned this stock the other day when it reached this previous area of support from its lows back almost 5 years ago, back in 2019. And this stock has had a great bounce. I think we'll continue maybe to see this to chop sideways here or possibly go up if gold continues to go up. But the stock miners are very undervalued relative to the gold spot price. And so if gold continues to rally, you could see this stock rally uh, as it would be an increase in profits for their company. We could possibly come back down and maybe touch this lower support again. But I think we're starting to see a real turn here for gold and gold miners. I got a position in here. I may go ahead and take some profits on it. I need to look at it again, but yeah, I think this stock could go much higher. And not to mention, Newmont, they also have a dividend of about 4.5%. So not only are you going to get the upside returns, you get that dividend. Um, so to me, this was a no-brainer when I saw this. And I think really we could go up to this upper channel here of around $37. Um, and then we may see a little pullback or correction. But I think over the next 6 to 18 months, we're going to see gold prices go up. We could see gold go up to $2,400 or $2,500 an ounce. And if that happens, then I would expect this stock to go much higher, because if you look at its previous all-time high back here in 2022, it was up over $85. And so I really think you could see this stock go up, you know, maybe around to this $50 level if gold continues to rise. But what I wanted to mention about crypto and Bitcoin is the Bitcoin halving is coming. According to NiceHash here, we are 38 days away from the halving, which means a reduction in the supply of Bitcoin and the inflows that continue to come from these Bitcoin ETFs continue to pour in. Right now, we are witnessing history as these big institutions keep buying Bitcoin at a rate of 10 times more than the daily production. So, supply and demand, Bitcoin, and the crypto cycle should be very strong this year. It's already exceeded most people's expectations so far this year. I do believe that we may see a pullback if the stock market pulls back here in the next couple weeks. But my long-term views for the next 6 to 18 months is Bitcoin and cryptos are going much, much higher. And as we know, we have the halving event coming up, and we can see here on the rainbow chart that we are still in that hodl zone. So it's still a good time to be dollar cost averaging. and buying more Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these other altcoins. So that's something to keep in mind. I also mentioned I wanted to talk about the Bitcoin miners today because we're entering into a really good buy zone here for some of these crypto miners. As the Bitcoin price continues to rise, these miners will profit, and so can you. So we're looking at some levels here on Mara. This is Marathon Digital's holding, where we could see anywhere in this area between $22 and $19 to be really good accumulation zones. If we come back down here and tag this trend line, then we should see a bounce. And I think as the Bitcoin price continues to move sideways for now, that we could see this come back up into this range here of $27 to $30 and continue to accumulate. Once it breaks out of that range, our next range higher will be this $41 to $48 per coin or per stock. And so there's a lot of potential upside here. Easily could get a 2x coming probably in the next few months as Bitcoin continues to rise. Another miner I wanted to mention is Riot, and again in a very good accumulation zone around this $11 to $12. And once it breaks through this resistance here of about 1670, let me reload this chart here. Sorry guys, my internet has been being very funny here the last day or two. But, and now the moon phases come on. Yeah, I'll just close those off for now. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, once we break this level of resistance here, then we should see Riot go to $22 to $25 per stock. And then, of course, it can go much higher from here and potentially reach maybe this $50 level later this year or possibly next, which would be about a 5x from where we're currently sitting. Another miner I wanted to mention is BTDR. This is Bit Deer. I heard about this yesterday. I did some research on this. This is a mining company that is extremely innovative. And so they've been in operating for about 13 years now. And they released their IPO not too long ago. I don't generally like to buy IPOs because typically they kind of spike up and then fall off. But after doing some research on this company, it made me consider really buying in here. This Bitcoin miner, they developed their own chips, and it looks like it's in conjunction with NVIDIA, and they're using AI to help speed up the process and develop their software, and they're extremely innovative. They have some of the lowest operating cost out of the miners because of some of their proprietary systems that they've created for their miners. and their rigs. So right now, this is sitting around the $6.70 area. We have this line of support here. If we hold this line, we could see a bounce. And if we break out through this trend here, then we could see a rise to the upside. And then it could go up to around $9.20 per share. Then we would run into some resistance there. But as Bitcoin continues to rally and the cryptos continue to rally, I could see this stock going much higher. This is a smaller company, but I really could see this price going up substantially from its current levels. If we do see a pullback in the markets, you may see this come down to this next area of support and resistance around $5. I don't know that it would go much lower than that this crypto cycle, but I think there's some really good buying opportunities here. So how can you get a hold of these crypto miners? Well, you can find them on any exchange, but I have opened up a Robinhood account in addition to my other IRAs. And right now, Robinhood is offering 3% on every dollar that you contribute to an IRA. And 3% is really good because, when I was working in the corporate world with our 401ks, we would get matches. And so for every dollar you put in, they contribute a dollar. And that really adds up over time. So they're offering this 3% boost on your IRA with their gold membership. And Robinhood has a lot of different advantages over to some of these other um, brokers, such as like Fidelity or something, where you can actually buy and sell crypto as well. So you can buy crypto on Robinhood and you can earn even more. So I do like what Robinhood is doing here, and I think that is a really good place if you're looking to start building an account and dollar cost averaging. You could get started with Robinhood. There is a link down in the description below. But let's talk altcoins because altcoin season has begun and it's just getting started. And first up here, I wanted to talk about Solana. Solana has been probably the number one alt that has really stood out this crypto cycle, and they're doing a lot of good things by reducing gas fees for transfers on exchanges. And as you can see here, it has been running up since the breakout here in October of 2023, and it's maintained this upwards trend, and it has broken through this level 133 that was resistance. So we could continue to see Solana accumulate in this area, maybe come back down, touch this 133. It's up at 147 right now. And so we could continue to see it hang around this area here for a little while. It could possibly go back down below this 133 if we do see a correction in the stock market, but I don't see it going really any lower than this 107. So anywhere in this area should be a great buying zone, accumulation zone for this crypto cycle. And if it continues to take off and break out here, you could see Solana going to this 175 to 190 per coin and much higher, much higher. I think you could see Solana hit like a $500 or $600 per coin this alt season. But I do believe that probably time is running out for a lot of these altcoins because they're really starting to take off. I think that you'll see maybe another 3 months or so um, before these altcoins get pricey. So you still have time to get in, but it won't be long before these things really take off and start to run. And Bitcoin would be at all-time new highs and in price discovery, which will really pump up these altcoins. I think a lot of these altcoins you could do a 3, 5, or 10x fairly easily, um, and some much more. I don't mess too much with the degen type plays, but it is interesting for sure. Another coin I want to mention is Chainlink. Chainlink is the glue that binds a lot of these blockchain technologies together. And Chainlink is in this area of accumulation between 17.70 and $20 a coin. And so I think we're going to see Chainlink continue to accumulate in this area. And really, if it fell below, the trend line is not much farther below that. But I think we really could see breakout coming for Chainlink. It's starting to get a lot of positive action here in the markets over the last month and has been building really strong. If Chainlink breaks out of this area, the next level it could go to is $25 to $28. And so that would be about a 50% increase, 40 to 50% increase from where it's currently setting. And I think Chainlink is probably one of the other ones out there that is very strong. They have some of the best case uses that I've seen out of any of these bigger coins. And so that's why I like Chainlink. I've been accumulating Chainlink. And yeah, I think Chainlink is a really good one. Another one is Matic. And as you can see, it's at a $1.14. And it's broken through this resistance, so I think it's in a good accumulation zone as well. I think we'll continue to see this hold this level or possibly fall just below, but as you can see here, this is one that hasn't really ran yet, and this one needs to be refreshed too. Hold on just 1 second, guys. Matic, Polygon. So, Matic USDT. So like I said, you can see it just broke through this level of resistance here. And there's not a lot of resistance left before this could break higher. It's entering maybe just a little bit of resistance, but once it breaks through this area, you could see it go to $1.35 up to $1.50 per coin. So good upside there, and it could go much higher as well. Another one is Polkadot. And Polkadot is one of these other big coins that's ran in previous cycles that is just starting to break out. And it hasn't moved a whole lot. since this altcoin season has started. But you can see here anywhere around this $9.50 area is a good accumulation zone up to $10. Um, Even if it falls a little below, and it could go much higher. Once it breaks this $14, then it could go to $17.50 up to $19 per coin. And then after that, it could go up to this $24 to $27 range. And as you can see here, the previous all-time high was $53 a coin. So this could go much, much higher. This could be one of those 5X's pretty easily, I think, this altcoin season. Um, so Dot, Polkadot, that's a good one. Another one is Cardano, and Cardano has been one of the laggards as well, breaking this 59 cent level here. And now it has just come up and touched this resistance around 74 cents. Once it breaks through here, though, there's not much holding it back until it gets around a dollar up to $1.25 area, and then after that it could go up to 175 to 190 per coin. And so this is another one. The Cardano people have fans have been waiting for this, and you know, Cardano seems to move kind of slow, but then once it starts gaining momentum, it really takes off. So Cardano, I looked see it be a really strong player later this year. And one last coin I wanted to mention is Algorand, and Algorand uh, has been in this long phase of accumulation. As you can see, we're creating a head and shoulders pattern. And so once it breaks out of here, you could see it go up to this 42-cent level from 26 cents. So you could get nearly 100% return on this pretty quickly. And it has a lot of room to go. It has another layer of resistance, uh, well, at that 42-cent level, as I mentioned. But once it breaks out of there, you could see Algorand go to 66 cents per coin, upwards of 82 cents. And it's currently sitting at 26 cents. So a lot of upside potential for Algorand. And once it breaks through that level, the next area of resistance is $1.30 to $1.50 price range area. And like I said, this could go even higher, but I think it's a really good entry right now on Algorand. You may want to wait and see what happens maybe here over the next week or two. But I think anywhere in this zone is a good accumulation zone for spot buy or just dollar cost averaging in and building an account, because right now is a great time to build an account, a portfolio, and um, take advantage of this crypto and altcoin season. And that's why I have rolled over a portion of my IRA into iTrust Capital. I started with a 5% allocation for some of these altcoins. I took some profits that I made here over the past few weeks with Bitcoin and rolled over another 5% into my iTrust Capital, or I'm in the process of doing so right now. Just got to finish up the paperwork on that. But iTrust Capital allows you to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of these other layer ones such as Chainlink, Solana, Polygon and Polkadot, and they also allow you to buy spot gold and silver with very low fees. And this is a good way to just dollar cost average and build up a portfolio. And I've been really pleased with iTrust. They've been great. Whenever I set up my account, and I had a little trouble at first getting the papers signed, but the when I called the guys out there, man, they're super supportive, very helpful, great customer service on their end. They're doing big things. And so I think iTrust is a very good way to go. I highly recommend them. They are the #1 crypto IRA platform in America. And so that's why I have been using iTrust Capital. Again, there's links down in the description below. So if you're interested in something like that, then you can use those links. And one other thing I wanted to mention was Apex, because Apex Pro is a decentralized exchange where you can get access to these cryptos and have self custody of your keys. And so that's why I opened an Apex account. I transferred some money into this to be able to use leverage. These are very small plays. I don't recommend just anybody using leverage, especially if you're new to investing. Um, but it is a good way if you do have more experience as a trader or an investor and you understand the potential risk and upsides and how to control those risks with setting stop losses and taking profit zones. It's a good way to use leverage. You could use like a 2, 3, or maybe even 5x. I wouldn't recommend anything much more than that. But if you use that on some of these coins that may rally, you know, 100 or 200%, it's a way to really increase your profits, especially if you're trying to, um, just really build an account and you don't have a lot of money and you want to try and boost what you do have. It's a good way to do that. It's just, really do your research and be careful when you're doing things like that. I will walk you through some of my trades coming up. Um, Once I figure out how to get that onto my laptop, I have this on my desktop. I haven't been able to get my account open on my laptop yet, but I'll walk you through some of those trades coming up. So if you're interested, um, you can subscribe here and watch me as I try to achieve my goal of hitting 7 figures this crypto cycle. Um, that is my goal. I'll be making videos like this regularly. So if you like this kind of content, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, guys, I'll see you probably next week. My parents are coming down this weekend. We're working on finish setting up one of my rental properties. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. I hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time, guys, be legendary.